This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology. The images are for illustration purposes only. Good. As expected, father's foundation is good. Ding Ling wanted to cry, but she had no tears. She sobbed, "Now I finally understand father's helplessness. He said that you wouldn't be able to become a great person, so he let me, a girl, take over the Chamber of Commerce. I've always hoped that you could grow up as soon as possible so that I can hand the Chamber of Commerce back to you. Do you know how hard I've been working these years?" All of a sudden, she felt as if all her hopes and dreams had been destroyed. The spiritual sustenance that she had painstakingly supported for so many years had collapsed all of a sudden, and her entire heart was empty. At this moment, she had a feeling that she wanted to escape. She wanted to escape from this burden on her back, escape from this chaotic and complicated world. Everything she had done over the years seemed to have no meaning at this moment. That's because father is biased. Ding Peng snorted. Since you have the intention to return the Chamber of Commerce to me, then hand it over now. Ding Ling said painfully, since you've grown up and have your own ideas, I won't bother about the Chamber of Commerce anymore. I'm just a girl after all, and you'll have to inherit my father's business sooner or later, but can you afford it? You don't have to worry about that, sister, Ding Peng said. I've gathered many capable people and experts of all kinds, and they won't be less than you. Plus, with young Master Wu's help, I will definitely carry forward father's legacy. Ding Ling. S face turned pale. She gritted her teeth and said, Good, from today on, you will be in charge of the Chamber of Commerce. Elder sister will not care anymore. Miss, this matter is of great importance. Yu Roan was shocked. Let's talk about it after we ask the master. You dog slave. Ding Peng said angrily. My Ding clan's matters don't need you to meddle. Father is already old and powerless, he should just enjoy his old age. Sister can make the decision for this kind of thing. His eyes flickered with a burning light, and he looked impatient. Ding Ling looked at him coldly, and a golden token flew out of her hand. It was the Tianyuan token, which symbolized the supreme power of Tianyuan Trading Company, and only the president could wear it. Ding Peng was overjoyed, and he suddenly took it. He felt a burning sensation in his hand, and a wild smile appeared on his face. He turned the token over and over again carefully, afraid that it was fake. Wu Yu's eyes also lit up, and he laughed. Congratulations, younger brother Peng. Ding Ling looked at Ding Peng's face, and she was even more disheartened. Old Yu, please help me leave. It was difficult for her to even stand up. Yu Roan heaved a long sigh. He didn't expect that Tianyuan Trading Company would collapse internally at such a critical moment, and that it would never return. He also looked much older all of a sudden. He supported Ding Ling and was about to leave. Hold on. Wu Yu extended his right hand and stopped the two of them. He grinned hideously and said, Little sister Ling, the marriage between us has not been agreed on yet. Pfft, get lost. Ding Ling, who had been weak all over, suddenly had a burst of strength. With a wave of her hand, she shot out a beam of light that went straight for Wu Yu's head, wishing she could tear him into pieces. Wu Yu laughed and closed his fingers like a knife, cutting the light apart. His eyes were filled with surprise as he said, 2 stars Martial Emperor? Little sister Ling is indeed one of the 2 beauties in the merchant union that everyone drools over. Her talent is so amazing. She's the most suitable woman to be my wife. Brother Peng, we're all family now, so please help me persuade your sister. After Ding Peng confirmed that the Tianyuan order was real, he heaved a sigh of relief and said with a high-spirited look, Sister, you're not young anymore. You've been running around for the Chamber of Commerce for so many years, it's time to find a good husband and raise children. In the entire heavenly martial arts realm, the 4 prodigies of the North were the most respected among the younger generation. However, what kind of people were the 4 prodigies? They would certainly not take a fancy to his sister. So it's better to be more down to earth. Brother Yu is the most suitable person to marry, and also the most suitable person to marry. Ding Ling's heart was so heavy that she almost vomited blood. Ding Ping frowned and said, "Sister, do you want to wait for the right price? If you're old and can only become a leftover woman, it's better not to have high standards but low standards." "How could I bear to turn your sister into a Saint Seiya?" Wu Yu laughed. "It's fine if you're a saint warrior," Ding Peng snorted. "I'm afraid you'll become a saint warrior on the same level as Tiger Cub. Do you think Tianyuan Trading Company will have to support you for the rest of your life?" He acted like the head of Tianyuan Trading Company. Pfft. Finally, Ding Ling couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood, and her whole body swayed. Yu Rong was so angry that smoke was coming out of his mouth. He roared and raised his iron staff to hit him. He said angrily, "Today, I'm going to offend my superior. You old servant who doesn't know how to write the word death." Ding Peng was furious. He kicked the iron crutch, and two spiritual pressures spread out. Both of them were forced back a few steps. They were evenly matched. Ding Peng felt embarrassed, especially on the big day of taking over Tianyuan Trading Company. He was offended by a servant and was seen by outsiders. He immediately roared in anger, "Kill him, kill this old servant." The four martialists of Tianyuan Trading Company looked at each other, not knowing what to do. "How dare you disobey me?" Ding Peng was furious. He hurriedly took out the Tianyuan order and showed it to the four of them. He said angrily, "The Tianyuan order is here, you dare to disobey." The four of them did not dare to look at the Tianyuan order. They all lowered their heads or even turned their heads away. Ding Ling had been in charge of the Chamber of Commerce for many years, and she was deeply rooted in people's hearts. She was the one and only leader in everyone's hearts. How could the world change just because of a token? Wu Yu frowned as well, and a hint of solemnness appeared in his eyes. "Brother Peng, it seems that you still have a long way to go. Today, let this big brother help you hold down the fort." A look flashed in his eyes, and a martial artist beside him stood out. His aura spread throughout the entire area. It was actually the domain of a martial honor. In an instant, everyone's faces turned pale and they even felt a little breathless. "Sister, where are the golden edge and silver light that father gave you?" Ding Peng asked with a frown. "Since you've given me the Chamber of Commerce, you should give me the two forces as well. Otherwise, the entire Chamber of Commerce would be an empty shell. What use would I have for it?" Wu Yu's heart was also moved. Each of the 8 council members of the Business Alliance was extremely powerful. Although they were all businessmen and did business peacefully on the surface, they all had powerful forces supporting them in the dark. Otherwise, it would be difficult to do business. "Do you think that the golden edge and silver radiance of Tianyuan Trading Company have always been in my hands?" Ding Ling smiled bitterly and said. "If that was the case, would I still be bullied by you guys? Those two powers have always been in father's hands, and he has never given them to me." Ding Peng's expression changed drastically, and a trace of panic flashed across his face. Impossible. His father was already old and had long stopped asking about the Chamber of Commerce. If you didn't have the help of the golden edge and the silver light, how could you have survived these years with just these few dog slaves? Don't lie to me. Wu Yu's face also changed. He could tell that Ding Ling was not lying. If the two forces that supported Tianyuan Trading Company had never been in Ding Ling's hands, then it was simply a miracle that she had supported Tianyuan Trading Company to its current level over the years. He could not help but be shocked. "You can ask my father about this," Ding Ling said coldly. "If I could control either the golden edge or the silver light, would I still be subject to you? I'll wipe you all out today." Ding Peng's heart trembled, and he immediately looked dazed. If his father knew what had happened today, he could imagine what would happen to him. Not to mention, the two most powerful forces of Tianyuan Trading Company were still in his father's hands. Wouldn't the Tianyuan order in his hand be just a decoration? Wu Yu said, "Brother Peng, you don't have to hurt yourself. You're the only son of the old president. Those golden blades and silver lights will fall into your hands sooner or later." Let's not talk about other things today. Let's just talk about my marriage with little sister Ling. Since this old dog and these 4 warriors don't listen to the orders of the Tianyuan order, there's no point in keeping them. Kill these 5 pieces of trash and bring little sister Ling to my Luochu Chamber of Commerce as a guest. He ordered coldly. Yes. Yes, master. The Marshal Supreme replied expressionlessly. He snorted and a domineering force spread out in the realm. Suddenly, Yu Rong and the 4 martial emperors screamed in horror. Their bodies were directly lifted into the air and exploded into clouds of blood mist. The 5 of them couldn't even say a word before they fell to the ground and died. Old Yu. Ding Ling's heart ached as if her parents had died. Old Yu had raised her since she was a child, and he was like a father to her. She looked at everything in front of her and couldn't believe it. She steadied her body as she was on the verge of collapsing. She gritted her teeth so hard that they bled. Wu Yu, I'll definitely make you pay with your blood. You're going to be my first wife soon. There's no such thing as deep hatred between husband and wife. Wu Yu did not mind. A cold look appeared on his face. Even if the golden edge and the silver light of Tianyuan Trading Company were still in the hands of that old man, as long as he had his son and daughter, the old man would definitely obey him. Brother Yu, you have to be good to my sister. Ding Peng hurriedly said. He had gradually calmed down. The enthusiasm he had for the Tianyuan order had been extinguished after hearing the news about the golden edge and the silver radiance. He felt that it was of little value. Now, he could only rely on Wu Yu wholeheartedly in exchange for a sense of security. Don't worry. Your sister will definitely be my wife. Wu Yu's eyes glowed, and he looked as if he had been possessed. Sister Ling, don't worry. In the future, you'll help me manage the harem. All of my beloved concubines will have to respect you. You can do whatever you want to whoever you don't like. You don't need to go through me at all. Ding Ling's face turned pale. She wanted to struggle and resist, but she was suppressed by the power of the realm and could not move at all. Let's go to my Luochu Chamber of Commerce to discuss this joyous matter. Wu Yu said impatiently. He came forward and picked Ding Ling up. Ding Ling's eyes were full of hatred as she said angrily, if you dare to touch me, I'll definitely kill you. Wu Yu was startled by his hateful gaze and a sense of fear rose in his heart. However, he thought about it and realized that if he was afraid, how could he tame her in the future? He immediately steeled his heart and went up to carry her. Suddenly, a cold voice that seemed to come from the 9 serenities rang in his ears, making Wu Yu feel as if he had fallen into an ice cellar. If you touch her with your dirty hands, no one in the world can save you. Wu Yu's body trembled as he looked around in horror, but there was no one there. He shouted in shock, who is it? Who is it? Come out. Young master, what's wrong? The revered martial artist frowned, not understanding Wu Yu's strange behavior. Someone's there. Wu Yu exclaimed. Someone was speaking in my ear just now. Who is it? The other warrior also had a strange expression on his face. Young master is shocked. Where is there anyone? If there is someone coming, how can they escape from the eyes of the 2 of us within a few miles? His words trailed off, and his eyes suddenly widened. His mouth was so wide that a duck could fit in it. This was because there were already 2 more people in the hall. They were silent, and no one knew when they had arrived. I'm scared. The domain expert also took a few steps back in shock. The entire hall was under the control of his domain, so unless these 2 were ghosts, how could they appear so silently without being noticed at all? Ding Ling felt as if she had been electrocuted, and 2 lines of tears flowed down her face. The person she missed day and night suddenly appeared in front of her. All the grievances she felt were released in an instant. She couldn't help but shed tears like rain. Her delicate body trembled like a lotus in the wind, about to be blown away at any time. But more than that, she felt warmth filling her entire body. It made her feel an indescribable warmth that drove away all the cold. Under the sunlight, the water lotus slowly stopped swaying and bloomed with the colors of a flower. Although the white lotus is pure and holy, it is only because you have bloomed and because of your existence that it is even more beautiful. Young Master Yun. Ding Ling held back her sobs and called him softly. This one call expressed all her emotions. Everything was conveyed without words. You've been wronged, Yunxiao chuckled. I'm sorry. Ding Ling, who had finally stopped crying, started to sob again. Who are you? Wu Yu's expression was extremely unsightly. He said angrily, this is an internal matter of the Merchant Union, and it concerns the turbulence of the world and the division of power on the continent. It's a major event that can affect the future structure of the entire realm of heavenly martial arts. If you don't want to get into trouble, you'd better leave immediately. Mo Xiaochuan could not help but burst out laughing. Young Master Yun, this is so funny. He's so lustful that he wants to snatch a woman by force, and he's even related to the changes in the realm of heavenly martial arts. He's been fantasizing too much. You. Wu Yu was furious and shouted, two sovereigns, take down these two. He waited for a moment, but there was no movement. He turned his head in shock and saw that the two martial honorables' faces had turned green, and their eyes were full of fear. Why, young master, this man is a martial sovereign of the ninth heaven. One of them exclaimed in fear. I'm scared. Wu Yu was also shocked. He retreated in a hurry and said in shock, who are you people? Even a martial sovereign of the nine heavens wouldn't easily offend our Luochu Chamber of Commerce. Yunxiao did not bother to explain to him, so he said to Mo Xiaochuan, same old method, beat the three of them half to death first. Mo Xiaochuan chuckled. Are you going to crush your bones or your meridians? Up to you, Yunxiao said. Why don't you just break them all? Just keep them alive. Maybe you'll need to ask some questions. You guys dare to mess around. Wu Yu wanted to threaten him, but he immediately felt a sharp pain in his body. Then, he was in so much pain that he couldn't speak. Mo Xiaochuan had only sent the Emperor Qi of the Nine Heavens into his body slightly, but he heard the sound of bones cracking as he fell to the ground like a pile of mud. The other two martial venerables were shocked. They immediately turned into two rays of light and tried to escape. With a cold snort, the two of them felt the sky turn dark and an unparalleled force pressed down. Then, their whole bodies ached and they almost lost consciousness. In just a few seconds, Wu Yu and the two martial honors were completely paralyzed on the ground. Other than their heads and necks, all their bones were shattered and their meridians were broken. They lay on the ground like three pieces of soft meat, groaning. Ding Peng was dumbfounded. The change in front of him was too dramatic. His greatest support had turned into mud and was wailing on the ground. Ding Ling wiped her tears and said, young Master Yun, if you didn't come, Tianyuan Trading Company would have been finished this time. I was delayed by something, Yunxiao said with a smile. But I just made it in time. I don't care if Tianyuan Trading Company is finished, but I won't allow you to be finished. Ding Ling blushed, and all the negative emotions were swept away. She said, let's talk about it later. She looked at Yu Rong on the ground with a sorrowful expression and sobbed, old Yu treated me like his own daughter. Elder Yu was the one who taught me martial arts since I was young. Every time I wanted to slack off, old Yu would be very strict with me, but he would never hit me. She squatted down and cried while holding old Yu in her arms. Ding Peng was covered in cold sweat. He tried to escape, but he was blocked by an invisible wall. Mo Xiaochuan laughed coldly, you think you can run away with this level of trash? Colluding with outsiders to sell out your own sister, betraying the foundation of your ancestors, just wait to be beaten to death. Ding Peng was scared. He pointed at Ding Ling and said, good for you, sister, you lied to me that the golden blade and silver radiance are not in your hands. He was obviously just pretending to be a snake. First, he used the Tianyuan order to stabilize me, and then secretly called for the people from Golden Edge and Silver Radiance to come over. You're indeed my good sister, to actually scheme against your own brother like this. Ding Ling cried even harder, holding old Yu's body. Pa! Yunxiao gave Ding Peng a slap in the air and sent him flying, causing him to spit out all his teeth. Xiaochuan, keep slapping him. If he's unconscious, stab his Tsuchi acupoint. Slap him for a few hours first. Young Master Yun, Mo Xiaochuan said awkwardly, it's a little too difficult to slap a girl for hours without killing her. Find a way, Yunxiao said coldly. Think of a way yourself. At this time, a large number of martial artists had also rushed in from the outside. They were all chasing after the two of them. When they saw the situation in the hall, they were all shocked. Then, they saw Mo Xiaochuan slapping Ding Peng's face non-stop, and all of them were so shocked that they wanted to rush up to save him. All of you, stop. Ding Ling stopped crying and stood up. With tears all over her face, she looked like an ice beauty. Although she was sad, she couldn't be sad. She suppressed her emotions and said lightly, bring these four and hold you down and give them a proper burial. Don't allow anyone to come in. Everyone turned pale with fright. Only then did they see the 5 corpses on the ground and the 3 groaning pieces of rotten flesh. They were all guessing in their hearts. But Ding Ling was the head of the Chamber of Commerce, so they didn't dare to disobey her order. They hurriedly moved the bodies of the 5 people out. Ding Ling took a look at Ding Peng. His head had already turned into a winter melon, and she didn't know what it would become if she continued to beat him. After all, he was her own brother. Her heart immediately softened, and she said, young Master Yun, make him stop. Only then did Yunxiao call for Mo Xiaochuan's assistant. Mo Xiaochuan laughed. I just thought of an interesting idea. Every time I slap him, I'll send a certain amount of primordial qi into his face and blood vessels, slowly swelling his face. I have to control his head to keep it expanding while making sure it doesn't explode. It's a test of ability. Ding Ling looked at Ding Peng's ugly face and heard Mo Xiaochuan's words. She immediately felt her scalp go numb. I didn't expect my own brother to do such a thing and cause my death, she said sadly. This has happened before the conference. Tianyuan Trading Company is really in trouble this time. I've just arrived in Songhua City, Yunxiao said. It's true that a storm is brewing. By the way, didn't the young emperor and Yunxiang come with you? They're already here, Ding Ling said. But I've secretly placed them in the city as a secret force to prevent them from being exposed. I've been unable to eat or sleep in peace during this period of time. I've already received Sister Hanchuan's voice transmission, but I haven't seen you come. Young Master Yun, you're finally here, she said with a smile. I feel like my burden has been lifted. I don't have to be so tired anymore. Tianyuan Trading Company is one of the 8 executive members of the Merchant Union, and you're the head of the company. Why can't you handle a few small fries? Mo Xiaochuan asked with a strange expression. I heard your brother say something about golden edge and silver radiance. What is it? It's a long story, Ding Ling sighed. Although I'm the head of Tianyuan Trading Company, I'm only in charge of business. There are 2 truly powerful forces called Golden Edge and Silver Radiance, but they've always been in my father's hands. Even I've never seen them before. Oh, it's so strange. Ding Shan. Yunxiao frowned and said, I've met Ding Shan a few times, but I don't have much of an impression of him. What did he mean by doing this? Even for such an important matter, he didn't send any experts. What was he planning? Don't tell me he doesn't care about these 2 associations at all? Impossible. No. Ding Ling denied flatly. I still remember father's instruction when he handed the Chamber of Commerce to me. He told me to do my best to promote the Chamber of Commerce. Father is already old and is powerless in these matters. Mo Xiaochuan snorted coldly. He has the will but no power. Yet, he's still holding on to the core power of the Chamber of Commerce and won't let go. I think he's up to something. Ding Ling was taken aback, and her delicate body trembled uncontrollably. She denied it repeatedly, but a huge question mark emerged in her heart. Mo Xiaochuan's words did make sense, but she had never doubted her father. Young Master Yun, do you think so too? Yunxiao had the same thought in his heart, but he could only sigh and say, it doesn't matter what the truth is. What's important now is how to keep the empty shell of Tianyuan Trading Company, at least until the end of the 2 meetings. It's a good move to hide Xiao Huang and the others, and they can be used as a surprise weapon. It's just that Tianyuan Trading Company is too empty. I can see that the most powerful one around you is only a martial emperor. Haven't the other trading companies noticed this? I think so, Ding Ling said with a wry smile, but no one dares to be the first one to come here because of the Tianyuan Trading Company's name. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to establish myself in Songyue Yang City. Perhaps, father wants to test me with this?